we can hear you now. Hello, hello. Good evening. Good
Good
evening,
evening.
everybody who is joining us. Today is a very exciting day.
Yeah. I am just checking out with some of the things.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Yeah.
Actually, you can edit this recording like you can start the recording after 7 o'clock.
Okay. We still have about 10 minutes to start.
Yeah.
So we will wait all our. Yes.
Maybe definitely you can edit it later on.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me just check if. Okay. So today instead of I am sitting in the dark actually right now. I can't share the video. There is a power cut at my end.
Hello, Andrew. Good morning for you.
Hey, yeah,
Sunny, California.
absolutely.
Hi Andrew, how are you?
Great, Soham. Good morning,
Good evening and good day
Yeah.
from
Good
Spain.
evening.
or good evening, that is.
Just 1 second. Have you posted this on LinkedIn?
I have, yes.
Okay, that should work. You have posted it on an event page or on individual page or on Newton's platform. I mean, Newton's page.
I posted on my personal page, and I believe, Yulia, we have it through our company site as well, yeah.
Oh, okay. So Andrew, you will be displaying the complete Newton AI platform, right?
Andrew, we can't hear you.
Yeah. Am I audible now? Hello. Yeah. Can you hear me, Yulia?
Yes, I can hear you now. Yeah, I think it was
Okay.
2 minutes only with the sound, but now we can hear
Yeah.
you. Okay. We will
So
start.
I guess Andrew will be displaying the complete Newton AI platform, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
And we will show live demo and also very interesting information and tips that we prepared for you guys today.
Yeah, and I believe there are a lot of questions we already had on the Slack, so maybe we can take up that also.
Sure. So we are going to start in 3 minutes.
Mhm.
Okay, welcome to all of you. Everybody is here, right? I think we can start. So let me run one short survey for you guys so we can understand more about your goals and why are you here. It's only 3 questions. Let's start it. If I can do it right now. Let me check. Only 3 questions, please, guys. Thank you so much in advance. If you can help us understand your goals more. Okay.
I guess we are getting some answers.
Yeah, please do. Just a few minutes because people are still joining us.
Yeah, I believe I'm posting it again on Slack so that more people can join.
Okay. Here we go. Few minutes more. Let's see how fast are you with the answers. We have more people to join us, so let's wait a couple of minutes to give
Yeah,
them
definitely.
a chance to answer survey. Yeah.
Let's give it 5 minutes and then we can start.
Yeah. Welcome all. Wow. It seems like everybody is very,
Excited, I think.
yeah, today.
Yeah.
It's middle of the week, so that's good. We're almost to Friday, right? So
Yeah,
Oh.
let's get fun today.
I think many people have even submitted their answers on the first time. So I think we need more of the answers.
But do you see the answers, guys? Or only me can see this on the screen?
No, I think only you can see this
Wow.
answers.
Okay, I'm a Lord of the Ring today. Yeah. Okay, maybe we can slowly start because almost 80% of our guests and attendees already passed the survey. And
Yeah.
I can give a chance to new people who will join us later to answer these questions after the session, after webinar. Okay.
Yeah, maybe I think by the end of the webinar, we can again run this same poll again.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that should help us.
Okay,
So,
Glenn, are you ready?
I
Yeah.
am.
Start.
Yeah. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the third day of our 14-day long event on machine learning made simple. And I believe I see a lot of answers from people over here, I think. Thank you, Yulia, for sharing those answers.
Now
It's
you are
amazing. It's
Lord of
actually
the
amazing.
Ring. Yeah.
Yeah, it's actually amazing to see a lot of people answering it. And wow, that's amazing. So here we have Andrew from Newton AI's team to display us the complete platform details and the complete platform from starting up from the creating the solution, running up the exploratory data analysis, predicting on it, and then displaying some of the preloaded data sets. And he may also put up one of the you can say new data set and the display how that can work out. So everything will be covered up on this on today's date. And if there are some questions that you are unable to answer on with regards to the task, you can definitely ask, and we will answer them on this webinar today. So Andrew, up to you now.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Soham, for the
Thank you.
kind introduction. Thank you, Yulia. What a great event so far. Also, thanks to Chris from AI Guild yesterday for a great session as well. Soham alluded to, today I'll talk a little bit about where we're seeing the industry going from an AI ML technology perspective. And then I will share with you the Newton platform itself. We'll kind of go through an experiment, and then also that first task for the competition is due tomorrow. So if you haven't completed it yet, go ahead and get in there, create that experiment, and we'll go from there. But today you'll be able to see really the end-to-end workflow of that capability, so that you can complete it yourself if you had any issues as well. Yulia, can you go ahead and enable screen share for me? Or make me host, either one would work. Okay, awesome. All right, just 1 second while I go ahead and pull this up. Awesome. Can everyone see my screen? All right.
Yes, perfect.
Yeah, we can see that.
Awesome. So, what do you see kind of a green square or no?
It
looks good. Okay.
right.
Cool.
It is written. Yeah, proper.
Perfect. So, what we've seen within the industry is this evolution of automation. And, if we think of some kind of real world, experiences or real world examples of this, even if we look at the car, right now, a lot of people were all manually driving cars, but everything's moving more towards autonomous vehicles and, automated driving. This isn't the only industry that's, experiencing this type of automation. If you look at the financial sector, they've created, ATM machines or automated teller machines that have been able to help people self-service their banking needs, which reduces costs for, the banks in general, from people having to come in and request cash, for example. We've seen automation move into, the grocery industry, where, you can go in, get your groceries and check out automatically. Even our rockets are self-landing now in some cases with SpaceX and whatnot. So everything's moving towards this type of automation. And so we see over the next 5 years, data industry will be extremely automated. When we look at machine learning, all of the different open source and proprietary algorithms that are out there are really handling a lot of the tasks that humans are doing automatically, or humans are doing from their own, manual efforts. And so there's a lot of, push towards that automation, and, us being able to, provide Newton as a platform to help with that process. We're coming together as a community and working through all of these different types of problems and tasks. And we can continue to, further those efforts from an automation perspective, as well as a machine learning perspective. So what do we see data scientists doing now? There are a lot of these manual tasks, from looking at doing different types of statistics, looking at how we can explore and analyze data, all the way through more advanced different techniques from computer vision, natural language processing, etc. And on the right side, how we're, completing these tasks is using coding, whether it be, Python, R, Java, SQL, etc., as well as having to connect with IT and having those analytical skills. So when we look at ways that we can, overcome a lot of this manual effort, we look at finding ways that we can potentially automate this. And so how can we do this?
Sorry to interrupt you, but we don't see all your screen. I think you need to change it because we see only part of the screen. I'm sorry for this technical issue.
Yeah, that's why I was that's why I had asked that. 1 second here.
Mm-hmm.
Is that better?
No.
Yep.
No. Still no.
I see the whole presentation.
Yeah, you should be able to see the data scientist now.
now. Yeah, perfect. We can see that now.
Okay.
Yep, perfect. And then when we look at the industry and different salaries, we've went to PayScale and looked at different salary ranges from data analysts all the way to data scientists. Now, from my experience, particularly, most likely you wouldn't be able to get a data scientist for $96,000 per year in the US. Most likely this would be much higher. But as you can see, there's definitely a gap between data analysts and data scientists. And so when we look at ways that we can enable even the most junior data analyst with data science skills or machine learning from a Newton perspective, we can help increase the different capabilities and the ability for data analysts to perform different data science techniques, and thus being able to, help further you in your career, and then ultimately help you increase, your salary overall, and also, that business value that you're bringing to the enterprise. So what is one of the big problems that we see with machine learning and artificial intelligence? And one of the biggest problems that we see is the ability to implement our AI models into production. And when you look at it, 90% of all of the machine learning models that are made don't even go into production. So that means only 1 of 10 data scientist workdays actually ends up producing something useful for the company. And so this is a huge issue. And what we're saying companies are lacking are 3 different points. 1, leadership support. So when we're looking at, the C-level support from an enterprise, while, 60% of all CIOs or CTOs want to bring automation or AI into the organization, there are many challenges. And one of that is the effective communication, and that can be between the data scientists, that can be between the engineers, as well as the business teams. And so, we've seen, large hesitation between business to bring in artificial intelligence because there's various different factors, and one of which is kind of the mistrust of a machine doing these types of, decision making. And so when we look at automation in general as well, there is also this hesitation, hey, we're bringing in automation, that means I'm going to lose my job. In fact, that's actually not the case. What automation and machine learning can do is actually enable business to be able to focus on more higher value tasks rather than having to kind of do those mundane and repetitive tasks. And the third task, or in the third point that we see companies are lacking, is the accessibility of data. And so, if we look at the last 10 years and within companies, there are so many different types of applications that we use that contain our data, whether it be a CRM, whether it be different data lakes. We've seen a convergence of these types of data sources and different ways to connect them. So data is becoming more accessible, but one of the issues is how can we get all of that data into a good format in order for us to analyze it properly. And can you even imagine Netflix created $1 million algorithm and never even implemented it into their system and have no plans to. So, not only when we look at small to medium-sized businesses, but also, large enterprises also have this issue of being able to implement AI into production. So what's the second big problem that we see? Well, when we look at data preparation, it's a very hard task. Like I had mentioned, there are lots of different areas that you can get your data, but how can we put it into such a way that is going to be able to be leveraged, from an AI, ML, or even just data and analytics perspective? So that whole concept of garbage in, garbage out really does ring true. And so, we, found this great quote from Accenture, and it really helps us kind of understand, what the business problems are and what are the skills that you need. So an AI-driven upheaval will place a higher premium on what we call judgment work, the application of human experience and expertise to critical business decisions and practices when the information available is insufficient, suggest a successful course of action. This kind of work will require new skills and mindsets. And so when we look at this type of judgment work, if we don't have the information available, we can't make a decision. And so what we need to do is think from a business perspective and how we can add new types of skills to our tool belt in order to be able to gather this type of data. And so the data is there. We just need to find out ways to be able to collect it and properly prepare it, and also change our mindset, from, hey, I have to do this particular task and I need to make this decision, to, hey, maybe I can step back a little bit and begin to, collaborate and work with, the different members of my team in order for us to, create some type of solution that's going to help everyone, for example. And the third problem that we're also seeing and we're working on addressing is the right focus. So, what are those skill sets that I need in order to be able to help bring my organization to the next level? What are the skills and things that I need to bring myself and my career to the next level? And so, what we can see from some different surveys is actually one of the top ones is, digital and technology. So what are the different pieces of technology like Newton that we can use in order to help enhance what we're doing in our daily lives? And then the next set, kind of here in this purple, we're looking at, creative thinking, experimentation, data analysis, interpretation, and strategy development. So, when we look at data analysis interpretation, it's not only just about, creating a model like we asked you to do, create, this model to predict survival rate for Titanic. It's not just, creating the model, it's understanding the model, what is it doing, and where can we implement it? And then finally, the last kind of one I wanted to highlight was the social networking, as well as people development and collaboration. These are extremely important, in order to be able to, bring solutions into, our organizations. We need to collaborate with the different business units in order to bring it into production, in order to make it something that we can get a return on investment. And then on the right side, kind of like I had mentioned about looking at all of these kind of, mundane routine efforts, on the y-axis here, we have social intelligence, and on the x-axis, we have creative intelligence. And so machines are very good at, these repetitive tasks. But then, of course, we have that human advantage in the top right, where we're able to bring in that social and creative intelligence, and we can augment it with machine, for example, leveraging the Newton platform or whatever solutions, that you may be looking at as well. And so what do we need to learn today to be successful tomorrow? What we see the data scientist of the future isn't just somebody who can do coding and be able to do Python and create an accurate model. It's all about what is the mindset that we have, what are the communication skills and leadership that is needed in order to bring something that is very useful to the enterprise, as well as the business domain expertise. So when we're looking at our career, when we're looking at what we want to do, not only do we want to look at the different skills and tools that we have, but we want to understand what are the verticals that I'm interested in. Is it retail? Is it e-commerce? Is it, you know, utilities and energy? Is it financial services? Find something that really is interesting to you. And then within that particular vertical, there are also different business units that you can look at going into, whether it be human resources, supply chain, IT. There's a lot of different areas that you can go to. So what we're seeing is that being able to expand our business domain expertise, as well as a lot of the other things that you're seeing here, we can really be able to create interesting solutions that are going to provide value back to the business. And we kind of came up with this concept, an MBA for data scientists. Of course, what we're doing here in these sessions that we're having is not, you know, an official MBA, but I myself have gone through and got my own master's of business, and it's been extremely helpful because I've been able to learn about all of those different, you know, business units and different functions, whether it be finance and accounting, whether it be marketing. And that has helped me in my career to be able to, you know, look at the different types of, you know, jobs and tasks that I have to do and be able to apply that knowledge, as well as be able to apply that collaboration across the business units, because, you know, each business unit has a different goal. And so how can we find different ways for us to be able to work together in order to, you know, bring these types of, you know, solutions into production, or be able to at least start to experiment with what we're trying to accomplish. And so what is your shortest way to your data science career? And so, you know, it's today, you know, it's this week, and over the coming weeks, all of these different sessions that we're doing, we're really wanting to see how we can take, you know, somebody from any level to a data science rock star. So, you know, these sessions are a great way to kick it off, but we definitely want to see how we can continue to expand that. Through October and December, we're going to do a series of different marathons in collaboration with these different universities. So that's kind of what we call that professional level. And then January and beyond, we're going to look at how we can help enable you to become what we call advanced, or that kind of final selection, or data science rock star, if you will. And so we now, let's look at Newton from an automated machine learning perspective. So, you know, we're working on being able to, you know, provide a no code, no limit, and AI for all demographics. So really being able to, you know, democratize AI from a perspective, and, you know, helping, you know, data analysts or anyone with a little bit of advanced skills be able to leverage machine learning. And when we look at the overall kind of pipeline of traditionally what we see from, you know, bringing an AI, you know, project into production, we start with the project idea, then we have to find the data scientists and analyze the data, then we need to process and clean it, then we need to create the model, find developers, and then deploy the model, and then you have bad results and have to start all over again. Or if the model's good, we can go ahead and start making predictions. So there's definitely a lot of time spent on data pre-processing and implementation. And there's this lack of ability to be able to source data scientists. And you need extremely rigorous technical skills in order to bring something in production. And so what we've done is created Newton in order to, you know, help bring these different AI models into production faster, cheaper, and much easier to support. So the new workflow we're seeing is, you know, we've got our project idea, and then what you need to do is just upload your data, train the model, and then you're good to go from a prediction standpoint. So this really is kind of the, you know, the 3-click process that we're seeing as well. So when we look at, you know, auto machine learning, is kind of the Excel of machine learning. So, we've got, all of the different mathematical statistics and whatnot, and then Excel as well. So why Newton? Why would we leverage this? So we have quite a few key value propositions. So we're cheaper in the market, we're easier to use or more simple, and it's much faster to deploy. And we have great support and professional services, as well as we have our explainability models that will help you understand the machine learning models that you create. So what should a data scientist do to prepare data for machine learning experiments? So when we look at this, there's kind of 3 points that we want to look at. So exploratory data analysis. So what is my data made up of? What are the different types of data that I have, whether it be numerical or categorical, red, green, blue, for example? What are the different correlations between all of the different variables, and how are they influencing our predictions? What are the outliers? What are the different time dependencies? And what do you know, also missing values. We have missing values in our data. How do we deal with those? Do we just use a mean or a median, or can we use machine learning to actually help us fill in those missing values? So there's a lot of, effort that could be put into the exploratory data analysis perspective. When we look at data pre-processing, what are the statistical data analysis that we have to do? How do we clean the data? How can we fill in those missing data that I had mentioned? How do we work with those outliers? How do we transform the data? How can we understand and process it? How do we do sampling? All of those types of things. Additionally, feature engineering. What are we going to do to understand how different features are influencing each other, and how can we create new features in order to make our new model, more efficient, more accurate? Well, all of those things can be done automatically with the Newton platform. And so I'm going to go ahead and jump into the live demo and show you the platform and how easy it is to use, as well as some of the different features in there that will really help you be able to understand your data in more depth. Awesome. So this is the Newton platform. Right now, I've created a new account for myself. Right now, I only have one solution in here, but you can, yeah.
We can see your screen with the platform. You need to change.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Yeah, we still have the screen with present. Yeah.
Awesome.
Amazing.
Thank you. Cool. So this is the Newton platform. Right now, I've only created one solution on my new account. So this should look kind of similar to what you've done with your tasks. But of course, as you create solutions, all of the tiles will show up here. And we are hosted in the Google Cloud. So all of the models that you create and infrastructures on GCP. So you can actually create as many solutions as you want simultaneously, and also be able to run those as well. On the left side here, we have some different navigation bars. So we do have different business use cases that we've preset in here. And then also with the preloaded data set version that all of you have, you'll also have those well-known data sets like Titanic, for example. And then we also do have an extensive support library. So whenever you have any types of questions, you can just come in here and look at all of the different libraries that we've created for you. So how do we create a solution? All we need to do is click Select New Solution. And in this particular case, we're going to be looking at a bank marketing use case. So one of the clients that we're working with wanted to better understand and predict if somebody was going to subscribe to a particular service or not. And so what are all of the different things that go into somebody subscribing to something? Well, it could be their demographic information, so information about the customer. It could be macroeconomic information, so different things that are happening within the market. It could also be, different information about how long they were on the phone call with a sales rep, for example. So let's go ahead and just name our solution, bank marketing. And you can also put a description which is helpful. Maybe, you're going to do 3 different experiments. So I'll just name this experiment 1. So here, as you can see, there's 3 easy steps. We've got data set, then we train the model, and then we have the prediction tab. So here we have some different options. Here within the preloaded data set, you can go ahead and use the Titanic data set for your particular task that's due tomorrow. You can also select your data set from storage, or you can upload your data set from your computer. So as you can see, I have a few different training sets here. Here I have my bank marketing test and bank marketing train. So these 2 CSV files are what we'll be using for the demo. So the bank marketing training set is all of the different features, like I had mentioned, about the customer, the macroeconomic features, as well as the time they were on the phone call, for example, as well as the predicted value. So this is all of the historical data that we've collected about our customer and whether they've subscribed or not, which is our target variable. With the test data set, this is all the new data that we're going to want to predict on that does not have the target variable. So we don't know if they've subscribed or not, and we're going to want to try to predict that. So here, I've already uploaded both of these. So I'm going to start with the bank marketing train set. All right, so let's just take a look at the data really quickly. So this is the CSV file that I've uploaded. So here you can see information about the particular individuals, their age, their job, whether blue collar, their administrative, their services, marital status, education, whether they've got a house loan or not, a personal loan, how many times we've contacted them from a marketing perspective in the last year, what duration of phone call we had, lots of different features. And then finally, our predicted value or our target variable. So in this case, it's a binary classification. So we're predicting whether they have subscribed or not. In the Titanic data set, we are predicting whether somebody has survived or not. So in this case, 0 meaning they haven't subscribed, or 1 meaning they have subscribed. So that's the data set. And then here, all we need to do is select our target variable. So here are all the columns that we just saw in the data set. And I'm going to go ahead and click subscribed. Then just click next. Great. So now we're in the training tab. The platform has automatically understood that this is a binary classification, so whether somebody subscribed or not. And then we also have our metrics here. This particular metric accuracy is extremely useful for this task, but we do have the option to be able to choose other ones. And within the help menu up on the top right, we have descriptions of all of those different metrics as well. So all you need to do is click Start Training. And now we're going to be automatically building this neural network or this AI ML model for you so that you can then begin to leverage it. If you'd like as well, you can also put your phone number in and it will send you a text message of when the training is complete. Now, because this training will take a little bit of time while it fires up a virtual machine for data pre-processing, feature engineering, if we've selected it, as well as training the model in general, I'm going to jump back to an already pre-trained model. So as you can see, when I first started, I just had one solution. When I clicked the business use cases, it created a solution here. And then also I have the bank marketing training in progress that we were just looking at. So here I'm going to look at an already created solution, which is the bank marketing, same data set, nothing different. So we can just click on the solution. And as you can see, the training has already been completed. It took about 1 hour and 26 minutes. And our target metric accuracy is about 91% or 0.91. Within this, we've also calculated all of the different metrics automatically for you if you need any additional information. And then we also have what we call our model quality index. And so this particular model is looking at 86%. So this is a weighted average of all the different models. But this is kind of a nice quick snapshot to see, you know, how your model turned out. And so in some cases, hey, maybe my model didn't have a great quality. So when we were talking about data preparation and everything like that, it might be a good exercise to go back, look at your data, see how you can adjust it. And then also, as we do further tasks, if you encounter problems, just reach out to us in Slack and we'll definitely be able to help you out. We can take a look at your data, see if you need a little bit of help. We're always there to help support. So we've built in different analytics tools. So one of the things that we talked about earlier was the exploratory data analysis. And so what we've done is we've automated that for you. So here, during this training time, we've actually kind of built out some different, snapshots for you. So here we've got the data overview. So we've got all of the different people who did not subscribe is 29,000. All of the people who did subscribe was 3,600. We can also see different types of data, whether it be text, integers, or float. And then we've also created some interesting dashboards. So this is for continuous data. So right now we're looking at age distribution in relation to the target variable. So within the data set, most of the people are falling between 20 and 40, so around 30 years old. And you can take a look at this with all of the different features as well. And so one thing I will call out here is the duration of the phone call in relation to whether somebody subscribed to the banking service or not. So on the left side here, we can see a large number of call durations fall in this kind of area around 120 to 300 seconds. And then it kind of falls off, which makes sense. People won't be on the phone call for more than 2,000 seconds. So this kind of gives us a little bit of insights about our data. And then on the right side, we can see how it relates to whether somebody subscribed to the service, which is 1, or whether somebody didn't subscribe. So when we look at this duration of 200 seconds, the people who were on the phone call with this bank's agents for over 200 seconds seem to subscribe more so than not. And then the people who did not subscribe were only on the phone call for less than 200 seconds, as well as the people who were. And then the discrete data is the categorical data, or if it makes sense, the job type. So we looked at whether somebody was a blue collar, administrative, or services. And so we can see that distribution here, as well as our target variable. The darker green, which is 0, means they did not subscribe, and that distribution. And then the lighter green, which is 1, is whether they subscribed or not. So here, a lot of blue collars did not subscribe, and only a few did. Interesting enough, students, almost half of the students subscribed versus not subscribed. So this might be a good group to look at to see how we're working with them, to see if we can be able to create some better talk tracks and different things like that for some of the other categories. And then this just is simply showing, 89% did not subscribe and 11% did. And we have our correlation heat map. So whether there is a high correlation to the target variable or not. So depending on the different problem type, whether it be regression, binomial classification, multi-class classification, using natural language processing, we're going to provide different types of data overviews for everyone. So finally, let's go ahead and jump into the prediction tab. So here we have 3 options for prediction. So starting from the bottom, we have the downloadable solution. So you're able to, click this and download the solution and be able to, deploy it into a local machine or be able to deploy it into a microcontroller or device. And we provide all the necessary C code and weights and everything like that. We also have REST API access if you want to be able to call it to the cloud. And we provide the necessary, information to be able to do that as well. And then finally, our web prediction, which is going to be most relevant to you using, our preloaded data sets. You'll be able to do the web predictions. So before the demo, I enabled the predictions. And all you need to do is click start. And so earlier, I showed you a couple of, different data sets. One was a training set, and then the other was a test data set. So I would just click here. So this is all of the new information I have that does not have the target variable and what I'm wanting to predict on and what I'm wanting to understand. So I've already uploaded that. And it's ready to go. So here I have my bank marketing test data set, and here where I've uploaded it and trained it. So let's just take a look. Just click on the magnifying glass. So all of these to the right are all the different features that we have in our test data set. And then everything to the left here is what Newton created. So here are all the rows that we've predicted whether somebody's subscribed or not. Here we have the probability of whether they didn't subscribe or whether they did. And then the model to data relevance indicator, which I'll share. So one thing I'd like to highlight here is if we look at this particular person in row 4, we see that they did not subscribe. But we see they didn't subscribe with the 53% probability, but there's a 46% probability that they did subscribe. So this is a pretty interesting one. So if we just click on it, we can look at the model interpreter. All right, so this is the model interpreter on the Newton platform. So here we can see that they did not subscribe with the 53% probability. Here we have all of the different features that are influencing the model. So the duration of the phone call, what the European bond was, so macroeconomic piece of information, what the consumer confidence index score was, as well as whether they've defaulted, how many previous campaign outcomes they've had, what their marital status is, etc. So one of the interesting ones to look at here is that this particular individual was on the phone for 191 seconds, and they had a 53% chance of not subscribing. Now, what we have here on the right side is their feature influence. So the steeper this particular slope is, the more influence it's going to have on the predicted value. And so each incremental change will influence the prediction more heavily. So in this case, we had the duration of 191. If we were to move over to, say, 219 seconds, you can see the prediction chance of not subscribing has dropped to 50%. If we move it over to here, now we're actually at 250 seconds on the phone call with the phone agent. They actually have a 51% chance of subscribing. So This helps us get business insights so we can talk with our customer service agents, our salespeople, and help train them to be able to talk about, the banking services in more depth in order to keep them on the phone longer, in order to increase the chance of success. So that's just one small example of how we can look at the different features and use this model interpreter to create and bring back business value. And the last thing I wanted to quickly show with you in this particular demo is what we call our feature importance matrix. So here we have our analytics tool. And what this is doing is showing us all of the top features that are influencing the prediction. So whether somebody subscribed to the banking services or not, we can see duration had importance, the European bond at the time, the consumer confidence index, as well as other ones. So not only can we see the top 10 features influencing it, but the bottom 10. And so if there are features that are not influencing our predictions, then that might be something that we no longer need to collect that data, or we do not necessarily need to include that into our next model that we're experimenting with. Yeah, so overall, we've got the data set, we have our training, and then our prediction tab. And then lastly, the model to data relevance indicator. This will showcase whether the new data that we're feeding into the model is still relevant. And so I'll just jump back into this prediction. Here we can see most all of the training or all of the test data set is relevant to the training set. Some of the data is not. If this number gets extremely low, that means our new data is no longer relevant to the model, and we'll want to go ahead and potentially retrain the model. So yeah, thank you everyone for taking a look at kind of what we're seeing in the market and kind of how we're seeing data science in the future. And then also thanks for taking a look at the platform, and we can go ahead and do some Q&A, and then our team will also show you how to help be able to get onboarded onto the platform as well. So thank you so much, everyone. Appreciate your time.
Thank you, Andrew.
Thank you, Andrew, so much.
We have questions. I think we can switch to this session and answer them.
Yeah, maybe this question can be taken up by Andrew.
Yeah, but help us to host it soon if you could.
Yes.
Them.
So is this the one that in the prediction window is there REST API code? So we need programming knowledge. Is that the question?
That's the one. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, sure. So in the prediction window, we do provide basic code in order to access those predictions. So from like a programming perspective or coding perspective, if you want to implement REST API access to be able to do calls and things like that, just reach out to us. We can help you through that process, but we do provide some sample code for that. And JSON, any scripting knowledge, no, you won't need that.
Yeah, maybe if the company that you're working for, if they have some good one from REST API who have good knowledge about that, maybe it could be better if they can handle it by themselves. But I don't think as a data scientist, you would be requiring to have REST API knowledge to implement the code from Newton AI's platform to your company platform or anything like that.
And then, yeah, so I know we're, going into Q&A, but just as a summary as well, from an auto ML perspective, it can be extremely cost effective and labor effective. We can get models into productions in a few days rather than multiple months. It's very easy to create an AI solution We can make dozens or hundreds of models simultaneously. We can have a smaller or shorter model update cycle. So, making sure your models are up to date is extremely important, because if your models decay, then you may lose revenue or you may no longer be compliant. So we want to be able to make sure we update it. And that's kind of part of the historical data to relevance indicator that we've created. The ability to explain models is extremely important, and which is why we created the explainability office. And then it's very easy to integrate into most solutions, and it's easy to control the entire process as well. So just wanted to wrap that up as well.
Yeah, so there are some other questions as well. So one of them is there in the chat for the cleaning data, and also choosing the feature we should decide by ourselves. So I think we can definitely select the target variable ourselves once you are, putting up the content. I mean, once you are putting up all the data set on it. So I think that should answer your question, Leila.
Yep. And what model type is used to predict the data set? Can we choose our own, or is it chosen by the software itself? Yeah, so the model type, if I understand it correctly, is the Newton patented algorithm, and it's neural network based. However, if the question is more of like the, problem type, whether it be regression, classification, and whatnot, you can select those, but it'll automatically pick them as well.
Yeah, so they are basically chosen by the system itself, by the software itself. Yeah, we'll move on to the next question. That is Kevin Kramer. I think that one you can take up.
Yep. So, yeah, so there's a mention here. There's no real insight here. The more that I kind of pitch to somebody, the higher chance they subscribe. I don't really need AI to know this. What is more important is what content hot points are to engage and convince folks to subscribe. Absolutely, Kevin. I mean, this is great. This is all about what we're talking about, right? So if there are the different hot points or talking points or things that you've pitched within your CRM, absolutely, let's add that as another feature. And we can then understand what are those talking points. And, with our natural language processing or turning those into categorical variables, we can definitely make that an additional feature. So this was just a very kind of, basic model that I wanted to share with you. So absolutely great point, and, great feedback on that. And, let's keep exploring those things. And that's all about the collaboration as well, right? I mean, I may have one perspective of what I think is important, but can I bring in marketing? Can I bring in sales? Can I bring in even HR? Maybe they have just different perspective, and that's all about how we can keep making more interesting solutions. So great one, thank you.
Model can point to items. You don't have to do that. Need to be added. So is that a question or that was a feedback? I didn't understand that part.
I think it was I think they were typing when I was answering, so I think we're all good on that.
Okay. So there is another one.
Yeah, what if we want to remove the feature out of the data set after prediction, as few features are not relevant to my problems? So do I need to upload a new data set after cleaning, or can I just choose the columns required for the specific problem? Yeah, so once you create the model and you're predicting on it, we provide those different features. So if you want to create a new model, you'll want to go ahead and remove those. However, there's just one little point I want to make. So there was the training tab, and then there was the prediction tab. In the training tab, before it's complete, we provide the exploratory data analysis. So you can actually you can stop the training, do some adjustments on your data set, and then start retraining. But once the training's complete and you're in the prediction tab, that's when you would need to re-upload and create a new model, for example.
Yeah, I think in this case, what I prefer is doing the pre-processing before uploading the data set, or you can say the training set and the test set. So you can do the pre-processing even before that, and then upload the data set onto the platform, and then train the model.
Yeah, and that's kind of also like data preparation versus pre-processing. So we do automatic pre-processing, but yeah, the preparation absolutely is extremely important. You want to make sure you've got all the features that you want and things like that, right, Soham?
Yeah, definitely.
With us how the pre-processing work and feature engineering on the platform, because it's related to this question.
Yeah, sure. So the pre-processing and everything is all done automatically. So within the Titanic data set, the raw data set actually has a lot of missing values. It has, different text, whether somebody's male, female, etc. And so the platform will automatically turn all of those categorical variables in to numerical value. We'll fill in those missing values. And then also once that pre-processing is done, it'll, look like a very nice, clean, data set of just straight numbers. And then if we apply feature engineering, we actually will see, a lot of new columns added to the data set automatically as well that will help create, a more accurate model.
Yeah, definitely. So there's another one. How can we overcome to the problem for the 90% unsuccessful ML prediction in industries?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's the silver bullet, right? From my experience, I've worked with a lot of companies that are, over $1 billion plus, and, just there's a couple of things. It's, being able to get the right use case. It's being able to align with business. It's being able to get the data, so there are different challenges that we have to, overcome. Newton is one part to help create those models automatically without that coding experience. So, it's kind of chartered on us to, have that AI mindset and start bringing things into production. So I think from my perspective, it's really, that collaboration perspective and opportunity to kind of work together.
Yeah, I think there are a lot of many use cases that you can maybe explore on the platform and see like how they are working on. So I think some of the industries, they prefer using up the Newton AI's platform, or even say some other platform also. But some other industry, they perform themselves. They perform all the modeling and everything by themselves, but they don't even reach up to the point that Newton AI is able to achieve that kind of accuracy, I would say. So yeah, definitely you can definitely explore the complete platform and use cases also over there to have all the production ready models also. Welcome Leela. Yeah, just 1 second. I think we are up for another 10 to 15 minutes. So if you guys have any questions with regards to the task, with regards to any of the issues that you are facing during the the task or on the Newton AI platform, you can put up over here, and we can definitely help you out. We hope that all of you have taken part in the competition.
Yes, Andrew, if you can make me host, I would like to share the screen and remind about some important conditions and timing of our competition.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. So Today we are in block 2 and second task. So you will receive a notification about it in a Slack channel, but you already have instructions and conditions of this task. So please start with this task because you have very few days to complete it, to submit it. And also tomorrow, I think Soham will explain you more about the third task that is starting tomorrow. And just to remind you that you can get and win in this competition, in our big competition. First of all participants will receive certificate from us, from Newton, that you can share in your LinkedIn profile. Also, the top 10 participants will receive ebooks and printed books from our sponsor pack. And the main prize, of course, goes to the winner of our competition as a 3 months premium subscription to a Newton Automate platform that's equal, actually it's almost $7,500. And the last but not least, the top 3 participants with the best results will be eligible for some selection in the Silicon Valley for you. If you missed this first session with the guru from Silicon Valley for you, please see our records in our channel and channel of Newton, and also in the Slack channel that you can join anytime. And of course, we wish you good luck in this competition.
Yeah. There is another question over there in the chat. It would be great. It would be of great help if you guys can just show how to access the task. Yeah. So I think this task has already been shared on the Slack. Suraj, I'll add you, or you can say I'll tag you on the Slack where the complete task had been shared. So I'll do that in a minute or two.
Actually, also we will send by email if you registered in Zoom and we have your email, we can send you this file with the conditions directly to you. And we will do it today.
So Layla mentioned they could not register in Slack. So if maybe you could provide us a little more details, we could try to help you out. Or if you need a new link, or okay.
Yeah, I think Leela, you can share your email address, or you can write us, write Newton team to this address. And we can help you out.
Amazing.
There is another question over there. What is the next task that we need to complete? I think the task details are all mentioned in the PDF file for the second task. Is that correct, Yulia?
Once again, please.
Yeah, the second task has already been mentioned in the PDF. Am I correct?
Yes, exactly. So
yeah,
in one complete instruction, you have all tasks of the competition, one by one, second and third also, you can find there. But in any issues or questions, please be free to ask. We will be very happy to help you.
Okay, Sri, can you access the Slack channel? Satrupa and Saroj, I have added both of you to the PDF over there. That's already been shared by Yulia.
Mm-hmm.
On which last date, I guess, is October 8th. Last date is October 8th for the third task. Or last two.
Okay, now I just shared here in the chat.
Okay, so deadline for the first task is tomorrow. Yeah, if I'm missing this out, Yulia, can you just confirm the last date for the second task?
So the last day for the second task as well as for the third task will be 8th of October, the next Friday. Why? Because you need to build your model manually, and you will need to learn and to study those next few days with the Soham and our speakers and our data science expert. So in the end of this week, you will learn how to build this model manually, as well as how to build it automatically in Newton, on Newton platform. And you should submit results and answers by Friday, 8th of October. And 10th of October will be award day. So please don't miss it too.
Yeah. Okay, Sri, there is no deadline as of like in the time. By tomorrow midnight, you can definitely submit before that.
Yeah. And of course, if you will need some help and issues with the registration on our platform, please share with us. We also have an online onboarding service, so we can guide you step by step and help you in 10 minutes to complete your registration and start your competition.
Yeah, midnight of which time zone, whatever time zone you are in, you can definitely, share it before your end of the day. Even if you're in Australia, even if you're in US, anywhere, by end of 30th on your time zone.
Let's make it easy for everybody because we are global,
Yeah, it's a global because like a lot of because we have people from Australia also, we have people somewhere from US also. So it's completely up to you when you can submit it, but before the new month start on your calendar. So yeah. Okay. Couldn't find the task PDF. Lalita, are you available on Slack? I can just tag you over there. Yeah, I think I have added you to the Slack page where Yulia has shared the PDF of the competition. So you can go ahead and check that.
I also share it here just a few minutes ago. You can find it in the chat. Please, you're welcome to download it.
Okay, I think Saroj has pinged me up on Slack. I find nothing in the data storage. Okay, so Andrew, could you please share your screen, or maybe someone can share the screen? Any of you? I think there is some, maybe you can say, issue that Saroj is facing. Saroj, you can let us know directly here also, and we can answer you here.
I believe it should be under the preloaded data set rather than the storage. The storage would be if you uploaded your own data set, for example, which isn't available in this particular instance.
Yeah. Saroj, are you available here? I'm not sure if you were.
Actually, we did it on purpose to make it easier for you, so you can find this data set and preloaded data sets, house prices, but you also are free to download it from your own computer if you have it from For example, if you get it from Kaggle, you can also download it from your laptop or your personal computer to platform.
Yeah, I think Saraj, you can access it from once you click on the solution tab. Over there, you should be able to see the data set uploading option. So you can either upload it from your laptop or computer or anything, and you also have the third option that would be for preloaded data set. So you can check that also. Where to find the preloaded data set? Then I'm not able to subscribe. Okay, that's something that maybe Yulia can answer.
Yes, please share with us why, what's the reason, and please send us this issue to support channel. So our support team will help you and guide you, as I mentioned before. Just we need to know what exactly step, what exactly issue do you have in order to help you.
Yeah, I believe he has already shared this on the Slack, and I think Elena can assist you on that as well. Yeah, we are up for another 5 minutes more.
Yeah, I will share just our email.
Completion PDF.
You can, if you have some issues with the Slack, you also can send us direct email to this address, and we will help you.
Yeah, do we have any other questions on this? We have to register ourselves on Kaggle now or later. Okay, that is something.
It's up to you. You can start from today, and you will be the first, and maybe it will help you to win.
Yeah. Maybe even I should have been an attendee. Like, it's exciting.
Maybe you can
Yeah.
also to complete all the tasks. Why not?
Yeah, definitely. Like, I'll be the first one to complete all of them.
Okay, 5 minutes for more questions, guys, and let's see.
Yeah, we have 2 questions over here. So we need to build the model by ourselves in Jupyter Notebook or any other IDE, then upload it for the third task. That is completely up to you, like how you're building up the model. You can utilize Jupyter Notebook, Google Colab, or PyCharm, JetBrains, or any other IDE. Even if you have a normal Python, the Eclipse or something like that IDE, you can use that also. I hope that answers your question. Do correct me, Andrew, and Yulia, if I'm wrong on that.
Yes, you're right. You're right.
Is there more information on the marathons with the universities?
Yes, it will come soon. Okay, so please stay tuned in our LinkedIn and our social media in our Slack channel, and we will announce it very soon.
Definitely. So yeah, we have 2 more minutes to go. If you have any other questions, we are up for the questions now. Do let us know if you're facing any kind of issues with the Newton AI platform. Okay, I believe there are no more questions. So definitely you guys can reach out to us on the Slack channel directly to me, or you can even put out everything on the support channel over there. Now I'm a member of Slack. 1 second, let us see if you are already there. I cannot see. No, Leila, I guess you're not yet a member. You joined from a different name over there. No, I don't think you are yet a member of the Slack.
In this case, I also recommend to send us the email, direct email, and we will help you.
Yeah, so I believe you must have shared the email to her, right?
Soham, Leila just joined. Could you please check Slack?
Yeah, oh, sorry.
Oh
I
yeah,
didn't get it.
welcome.
Awesome, cool. Well, thank you, everyone. Great session today. I really appreciate it. I'm going to hop off, but make it a great one. We'll talk in Slack and channel and everything like that. So thank you, everyone.
Thank you,
Thank you, Andrew, so much.
everyone.
And thank you, Yulia.
Thank
Shrishti, I'll answer you on the Slack.
Yeah, and good luck to all. Bye-bye.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, everyone. Have a great day. Bye-bye.